Welcome back to Something Different by Reset. We want to start off by thanking all of our listeners that are tuning in today.
Thank you, and what's up?
What a week it has been. Oh my God, I cannot even tell you.
It's been wild.
A lot has happened, and let's just say things haven't really gone the way we wanted them to. But we're here. We're still doing this.
Such is life, right? From I was gone a week, kids got sick.
Yeah.
I came back, I got sick. I was out of commission for 3 or 4 days.
It's just been a long week. And it makes me think about, I think it's time for vacation. I think we need to
It's time for a drink, actually.
Oh,
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, y'all. Yeah, vacation. Definitely vacation.
Yeah, I think it's time. And you know what? I've been seeing all these posts on Instagram, and everyone's traveling to all these places that are, hot and popular destinations this year, or you could just see where people want to travel.
Well, what are we in? We're in April now, so it's people are getting away from the winter, getting out of the winter.
Yeah.
Spring travels and stuff.
I mean, there's some really good deals right now, so I see why people are traveling right now. But I think it's time for us to start thinking about our trip. I don't know. Every year,
this is usually when we start thinking about that.
Yeah, we do. Every year, we kind of do one big trip and a few small trips, and we start talking about it around April, May, but we tend to book 2 to 4 weeks before we're going.
Always last minute.
Just because everything was always so busy. We were always busy with life. And we were able to still
just never have our shit together.
We were able to kind of find good deals and be able to travel to these really beautiful places.
It's still doable.
It's very doable. You may not get the hotel accommodation that you want, or you may not be able to go to the cities that you want to go to just because.
Yeah, you got to be a little bit flexible.
Yeah.
A little bit flexible.
A little bit. But our go-to place lately has kind of been Europe. We've gone to France, Italy, Spain, Greece, Croatia. I think the list could go on. But I guess what we want to kind of talk about is 3 places we kind of want to go this year, and maybe it'll be the top 3 destinations that you guys will end up going to or want to go to because we talked about it. I don't know. Maybe.
Should we do a group trip? Get on one of those cruise ships and just go to.
You're the number one person who hates cruises. Please, let's not even talk about a cruise.
Yeah, I don't know how I would do on a cruise, but whatever. We'll see. Maybe we'll see one day in life. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, we've got kids now, so it might be a little easier, but I don't know if I want to take my kids on a cruise ship. Anyways.
So clearly we're talking about travel today.
Yeah. Today we're going to talk about some destinations that we are considering going, or maybe you're considering going, and or you may have recommendations for us. Who knows? But
preferably in Europe.
Yes. Some of the places that we've been to, the countries that we've traveled to are, like we said, France, Spain, Italy, Greece. And I kind of, usually every time we say, oh, hey, we're going somewhere, we're going for a span of, I'm going to say about 9 to 14 days, maybe sometimes longer, sometimes shorter. But I tend to book these trips. Some have been within 2 weeks, some have been within 4 weeks, and it's always very quick. And you're still able to find places. You're still able to see the things that you want to see. Yes, it's going to be very busy. We tend to go during busy season.
Yeah,
the reason we go is because peak season for us, we feel like we see everything. We're able to, experience all of it.
Plus, I like seeing the country lively,
Yeah.
Not always tourists, but at least people are out. Like, for example, Greece, when we went, was a busy time, so all the islands were open.
Yeah, all the islands were open.
Typically, in the winter, some of them closed down apparently. So
yeah, I mean, And yes, everything is super busy, crowded, but you're still able to enjoy it. And I feel like with the weather and the food and just the atmosphere, it's all worth it. It's really all worth it.
June, July is just like works with our timing.
Yeah,
it's just better.
It is. It definitely is. So some of the places that we're considering, some of the countries that we're considering are France, Spain, Italy, or Greece. And we've been to all of these countries already, but we've done a lot of the inland and more of the tourist spots, but we also try and find the
the hidden gems.
Yeah, the hidden gems. And I think we'll talk about France first.
What are we doing? You've probably been to more cities and countries than I have, but France, we did Paris.
We did Paris together. I've done south of France, and I want him to see south of France, so that's something that I definitely want to go back to see. But Paris is also another beautiful city to go back to. Funny story, I think we went to Paris almost 10 years ago.
20, oh yeah.
Almost
2012.
10 years ago.
20, oh yeah. Damn.
Right? 10 or 13 years ago. And I actually thought he was going to propose to me in Paris. Funny story, guys. He had surprised me with a dinner at the Eiffel Tower. And we did I can't even tell you. I think it was
it's like a 19-course meal or something, yeah.
And it was paired with a bottle of wine. Every single thing that came out had a different type of wine. And it was amazing. And I was like, all right, this guy's going to propose, but he did it.
Wasn't the right time, Had to be like 3 or 4 years later.
But Paris is a beautiful city, and what I've noticed on Instagram is so many people are going right now.
Yeah.
Like it is, I feel like maybe
it's become another hotspot.
It is. It's become another hotspot.
Like it was like a few years ago.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking way before pre-COVID. But
yeah. I mean, last year, if everyone noticed, Italy was probably the hottest spot everyone was traveling to. And yes, we fell into it and we went to Italy as well.
Hell yeah. I'm totally glad I did it.
We did about 2.5 weeks with the kids in Italy, and it was fantastic. But back to what I was saying about France. So we've done Paris, and I've been to south of France, but I really want to take Himesh to south of France, and the girls, of course. I think it'd be really nice for them to see, different culture, and just being along the water is just so calming, I think, and it's relaxing.
What kind of food is it?
It's a mix. Seafood to, Parisian food has very, I can't even.
Michelin star.
Yeah, I mean, it just tastes really good. It tastes really good. Yes, and he's going to say, I'm still hungry. Every time we go to something that's nice and classy, I think it'll be different this time around, right? We've traveled without kids and we've done it with kids. And now, we kind of do what works best with our kids. Or we'll go somewhere, get them dinner, and we'll have a little cocktail here or there, do a little bit of people watching, and say, we'll have dinner when we get back. And that really, when we're booking accommodation, that's what we look for. We look for a place where, we can put our kids to sleep, but go sit on a balcony or, have our own space where.
Have a nice view, maybe.
A view, or if, there's a
garden,
pool or a pool or a hot tub or something that we can just kind of enjoy ourselves while the kids are sleeping and still enjoy a meal with a nice view. Right?
Yeah.
I think it's just making sure that we still get the most out of our vacation. And I think we're able to do that the last time we went, and we enjoyed ourselves.
It worked.
It did. It really worked.
We ate a lot.
Yeah, we did eat a lot. For some reason, when you change your ways of travel from going to a restaurant and bringing it home,
yeah,
you tend to order everything and anything on the menu because you want to know what everything tastes like. And I think that's what we did while we were away.
But also, you're relaxed. You're not in the restaurant in the thick of things, trying to handle the kids and
And that's what's I think that's what's more calm and relaxing for us too, is that we've taken them, they've ate. Then we'll go around, walk, and get them a little dessert, and then we go back to our hotel or our Airbnb or wherever we're staying, and we would put our kids to sleep.
Then it's party time.
While I put the kids to sleep, I think he would go and pick up food, and then we would just kind of enjoy our time, our downtime. And we'd be exhausted from the day anyways because we'd be walking around doing all the tourist things, but also kind of experiencing, the mom and pop places and hit the hidden gems, right?
Recommendations. That's where we get a lot of
Yeah.
food from.
Yeah. Whenever we stay at Airbnbs, we always ask, and actually we should say every time we do book an Airbnb, we always book a superhost.
Oh yeah, that's
And
life hack number one.
yeah, it is.
Filter on Superhost.
Yeah. They Superhost actually provide you with the most amazing restaurant recommendations, the most amazing tourist spots. They are hidden gems that they found, but also
so good that you recommended to people that you know that have also gone to these places.
Yes.
And have also had good recommendations.
Yes.
So it's a hit.
It is.
Superhosts know what they're doing.
They
sure.
really do. And these places are probably nicer than 5-star hotels, I'm going to say. Like some of these places that we've stayed in Airbnbs, these hosts have created an oasis while you're there.
It's like it's the all-encompassing features of it. Like you get, the service, the quality.
Yeah.
They're there for you when you need something.
Yeah. And I think what we felt more from our last trip is an Airbnb works better for us going forward
kids,
because with the kids, it's easier when you have a space to, store some food, be able to have milk and fruits and vegetables just for on the go. Another great thing that some of our super hosts have done have actually stocked our Airbnb for us, knowing that we had kids coming,
That happened to us in
Italy.
Yeah, in Amalfi, yeah.
In Amalfi Coast, yeah. We had,
it was the coolest little Airbnb. Yeah. Obviously, it was like the one at the very bottom of the stairs. We had to climb down 300 freaking stairs every day, but it was the nicest little Airbnb.
It was.
It was on a little farm.
We were actually the second or third people to stay in this Airbnb. It was brand new. And she was the most sweetest person ever. She knew I was coming with 2 kids. She had stocked the fridge with milk. She had put food in the fridge.
Fruits.
There was fresh produce from their garden in our place.
Fresh eggs too, from the chickens that were in the garden.
And we were in the Amalfi, so there were fresh lemons and limes, and it was just really, really nice. It was a great experience. And I will say it was probably better than I've ever had in a hotel.
Yeah.
Every day they came and asked us if we needed anything or, reached out, and they would tell us.
That trip we spent, like we did hotels and Airbnbs too. So
we're able to kind of get
a feel.
The difference, yeah. Especially with kids. I feel like with kids, things have changed. Before we used to be about the whole hotel life because we love to go down to the hotel, the lobby and have a few drinks before going out or doing something else.
And use 4 towels a day.
Yeah. But I think now it's like having a facility where you can do your laundry.
Yeah.
Put your kids to sleep.
Oh yeah, we do laundry every day on when we're traveling. Yeah, for sure.
It makes things easier. And
that host actually had the pods ready for us too.
Yeah, she did.
Most do, I mean, but yeah.
She was a super host. Let's just say she was fantastic at what they did, and the service was impeccable. The thing with Superhost are they've also made connections with transportation. They have made connections with, any tourist activity that you may want. They have someone that they connect with, and that's how we were able to kind of get around certain areas. And this has happened in Portugal for us. This happened in Greece for us as well. But what they do is then, reach out to their, I mean,
they know who else is in the industry, and they partner with all these other, limousine, taxi services or whatnot. So
they're able to kind of get us from point A to B.
They coordinate for you.
Yeah, they do. They definitely coordinate because they're able to make sure that we are able to find the Airbnb, first of all, because again, Europe with all the streets and
help with your luggage.
Yes. it's not easy. Sometimes it's not easy finding these Airbnbs. I'll tell you that. Yes, hotels are easy to find because everybody knows where this hotel is, this hotel, but Airbnbs are hidden gems in like the smallest streets or the smallest corners. And,
Yep.
it's hard when you don't know you're not frequent with the language and you're trying to ask somebody where this street is or where this corner goes to, but you find it
So
eventually.
that's what makes like getting around. I think those are like kind of the key criteria when we're looking at travel or countries is like obviously the place.
Yeah.
What's the food like? What's the accommodation like?
Yeah.
And then how the hell are we going to get around?
Yeah.
Planes, trains, automobiles.
Yeah. I think we were very, the very first time we used an Airbnb, we were very hesitant because we didn't know what to expect because we've always done hotels everywhere. And we did our first Airbnb, I think. I don't even remember. I can't even tell you.
It was probably in LA. Oh, yeah, it was in LA.
Was it in LA? I don't know. But
in Santa Monica.
It was in the most amazing location, walking to everything. We were able to go for hikes. We were able to be like in Santa Monica quickly. Everything was great.
She's still a host. I actually checked out that place on Airbnb.
She had bikes. She had I remember all of it. Like she had bikes for us to take out if we wanted.
Because it was right across the street from the observatory.
Yeah, and it was just everything was just really it was well done, and we were like, oh, we should probably do this again. We should try this again. And then we tried it in Europe, and it was amazing. And we were like, holy crap, this is better than half the hotels we've ever stayed in Europe. And so then we went with it and we kept doing Airbnbs. And I can't tell you how many Airbnbs have been amazing. Like
the companies,
we have not had a bad Airbnb in Europe. Knock on wood. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, buddy. Knock on wood, man.
But I highly recommend
the one we found in the one we found in Greece, in Crete.
Oh my god. Okay, so that wasn't an Airbnb. It was a bed and breakfast. Very similar concept.
Yeah.
And it was we ended up going to the island of Crete. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. Creta. And we ended up staying at a winery, and the winery had a bed and breakfast. And let me tell you guys, it was probably the most luxurious bed and breakfast I've ever been to, with a nonna who was literally making us
fresh coffee in the morning. Like she was grinding the coffee beans outside in the side of the little kitchen area, the outdoor kitchen area, mind you.
And she would make us breakfast, fresh, like eggs. Like it was amazing. And
she taught us how to cook too.
She did teach us how to cook.
There's a cooking class, like along with the accommodation.
It was a different experience. It was a different experience living on a winery. It was scary. I think I should say that too. We ended up going out one night, and then there was like
this was before kids. This was just the two of us. Just the two of us.
And we
had to walk.
Back
from like the bus stop because it was too late or something. Yeah, it was.
The road is like I guess the gates closed or something like that, and we were only able to get dropped off at a certain location, and we had to walk through. And
it's a winery. It's very remote.
It was so dark, and there were the lights, but you just didn't know what was around you and if there was anything. But it was scary. It was cool. We still did.
Good. It was cool.
It was cool. I do recommend doing those little things because you can always stay at a hotel and you can always, be in the city, but sometimes it's nice to be secluded and kind of be out in the middle of nowhere, in between a ton of grapevines and just drinking wine, watching the sunset on a hill and really just enjoying it.
Yeah.
No, it was really, it was different. It was nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But back to, what was I saying? I think we were talking about the places that we'd like to go to. And, I think going to south of France would be really nice for him to see. But at the same time, I would love to go, back to Italy and go to.
I think that's the front runner right now.
Yeah. Like seeing the East the east coast of Italy, or going to Sicily, the southern part of Italy, or even, I mean, where I want to go this year is actually Sardinia, which is one of,
Sardinia.
I guess it's a hidden gem of Italy as well. It's hidden,
It's
I guess,
it's a lesser. We were trying to go there last year.
We were trying to go there last year.
Somebody told us about it or something. Yeah.
Everything was booked.
That was too last minute for 2
Yeah,
to 3
it
weeks.
was way too last minute for 2 weeks. We literally booked our Italy trip in 2 weeks, and everything was booked. And even like for us to go to Amalfi and booking 2 weeks before, it was hard. I'm not saying it was easy to find accommodation, but it was hard.
There's witnesses just to see how hard it was for us.
But
to book.
I made it happen, and it was great. It was just something I tried really hard to make Sardinia part of our trip, but it just didn't happen. And I told him, I was like, we got to go back to this place because it's
the island
it's just off the coast of Rome, like Rome and Capri. You can kind of see it.
The Tyrrhenian Sea.
There you go. Yeah.
I did some research before.
But here's the cool part of it is they do have all-inclusive resorts there, and they do have 5-star to Airbnbs to bed and breakfast. Everything is available. And you can even do Euro plans to.
They have all-inclusives there?
Yeah. You're asking me this. I did the research last year, and I remember us looking for a different trip, and they had all-inclusives, but of course there are different types of all-inclusives in Europe because they've got Euro plans where maybe only breakfast is included. Mm-hmm. Some have breakfast and dinner included. But, if you do your research, there are all-inclusives throughout Europe. And a lot of the places that we've traveled to so far have them,
The breakfast ones are the most clutch, especially for us with the kids now. So
yeah. But even when we weren't, we would have breakfast. You'd have so much energy to go do some touristy things. Mm-hmm. And the best part of Europe is everybody takes a siesta. And so by the afternoon, once you're tired out from walking around everywhere, you get to go back and just relax for a few hours and then go back out. And
that's where you get, obviously, make sure that it has a pool.
Yeah. Either a balcony, a pool, or something to kind of just relax with. And that's where I try and book things that are not just a room. Versus like a plain hotel room or even a room. We always try to make sure there's something else to do. Even a rooftop terrace. Mm-hmm. I think we've done a few of those as well, where you could go back to the hotel, maybe take a quick siesta, and then go back up to the rooftop because majority of the hotel bars are still open. What I mean by siestas is a lot of places close. So a lot of restaurants close from a period, like from around.
Yeah, from like.
I think it's like around.
From like 3 p.m.
3 p.m. to 5,
like
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, yeah.
And in that time.
Which is like freaking prime time for our kids to eat, obviously.
Yeah. But.
That's just the way it is.
It's just the way it is. And we learned a lot. We went on our first trip with our kids overseas last year, and you were able to kind of figure out what works for us. And we made it work. And we thought it was going to be horrible, but it was probably one of the best trips we've ever had.
We got a good template now.
Yeah.
Hence the, going back to Italy again. Because it was such a good trip.
Yeah, it was. It was actually relaxing. And everyone that knew us asked, oh my gosh, how was it? Did you even have fun? And it was one of those things where I told everybody, you have to do it. You just got to do it. Take your kids and go. Have fun.
Everybody loved the food. Everybody loved the sights.
Yeah.
Everything was good.
And I kind of planned the trip around the kids. It was really around the kids about making sure we went on a train, making sure we went on a boat. Like my older kid was really into that kind of stuff. So we were like, we got to make sure we do this. We got to make sure we
show her or let her experience, trains and planes and whatnot.
Yeah. And she did, and she loved it. And she still talks about it to this day. And that's partially why I really want to go back to Italy.
Yeah.
But there are other places to see as well. We are also considering the Canary Islands, which are islands right off the coast of Morocco, which are part of Spain. these are hidden gems that I've known about since I was living back in England. And I think I've always wanted to go. I've always talked about it. I know some friends that have gone and have highly recommended going. And we considered it last year as well as a trip. It was just too many connections.
Yeah.
One of the key things that we have found, that going anywhere in Europe, always try and find a direct flight. We know a lot of people who have taken connections and have lost their luggage in their connections.
Oh,
and
man, even last year we met so many people. Gosh. At least like 3 or 4 people that we met on the trip lost their luggage.
I think one couple that we met.
This was during the time of all that trouble, but still.
We met one couple while we were in Italy, and they had been there for an entire week and still did not have luggage. And someone who has kids, I would not be able to do it. But that's why I try and find
a nightmare scenario.
Direct flights, no connections, anywhere we go. So now it's like trying to maneuver and plan around a trip where it could be 2 countries. We could go to 2 different places, but the luxury of once you're in Europe is the cheap travel within Europe. They have all of these cheaper airlines that travel within Europe with multiple, I guess, times and multiple flights going from place to place to place, which makes it so easy to get around. But also the train system. I mean, they've got fantastic train systems that connect each country, and
they're fast too. And they're all super trains.
So there's pros and cons to all of it, but you just kind of have to do it. I think it's one of those things where you just say, let me book a trip. And then once we book a flight, it's like, all right, I've booked the flight. I know how long I'm going for. And then
map out the rest of the
trip.
Let
me figure out where I'm going. Am I going here? Am I going there? And so it's just looking at flights and seeing where can we go with a direct flight. And right now, a lot of the direct flights are, going to Paris, going to Rome, going to Athens. There's some direct flights to Turkey. And these are just things that we think about and kind of consider as where to go. Where should we go?
Yeah. This is a good conversation after a long week.
Oh my God, yeah. And I'm ready. Like, you tell me and I will book our trip. I'm there. I'm ready to go. There's a lot going on. And I say these things with a lot happening in the next couple of weeks.
Who knows if we can even go?
I don't even know if we can actually go. No, we can go. Why? We always have to make time for ourselves. And we always have to make time to reset.
We need time to reset.
And get ourselves back there. So
nice. Yeah, I agree. We always got to do it,
We always do. But even going to all of these countries, I think some of the countries that we've mentioned about going back to, I can't even tell you how great the food is. And I think those are the reasons we always want to go back.
That's mainly why,
Right? Like, Italy, the food is just, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we've ever had a bad meal.
We never had a bad meal.
And you can find everything.
Even at like the little pizzeria in the plaza, in the middle of the plaza, or like in between the little lanes.
And the gelato. You got to go back for the gelato. I don't know. But we said the same thing about Greece. I don't think we ever had a bad meal in Greece. I
don't think we knew what Greek food was until we actually went to Greece.
Yeah.
And actually experienced real
Greek food. Yeah. And like one of our favorite places was something recommended from a previous, who was it? I think we played volleyball with him, and he had recommended, what was it called?
Thanasis.
Yes.
I still remember the name.
And it was probably
in Athens.
Best kebabs we've ever had in our life. Like, I can't even tell you. It was amazing. But everywhere. It didn't matter what island you were on and what you were doing.
Times.
Yeah, we did go 3 times. When we first got there, and then on our way back as well. But every island, the food was phenomenal. Like, there was not one meal we complained about, and we tried so many different things. Spain was the same thing. I think we had great food in Spain. I think it was different for all the trips that we went on. I think we both have been to Spain different times. And if you're a seafood lover, you're obviously going to love it. But the paella was always my go-to. It was great. It was.
I think that was like at the earlier phase of me eating seafood and stuff. So I was like, the food is good, but I remember we tried. Did we try paella during that drink?
Yes, we did. You had squid
The
paella,
squid,
and
the
you were
oh
just.
man, that was like so nasty, but whatever. We tried it.
Yeah.
We tried uh duck fat or like duck breast or something like that too during that trip. Duck confit or something. I don't know.
I honestly don't remember. We just eat a lot, so it's really hard to tell. But the food was amazing. Let me just tell
Suffice
you.
it to say, food is like a number one priority for.
Yeah, it is. And we are also, when we travel, we eat. We want to try the food of the country. So it's very like when we go there, we want to try every type of food that they make, and so we make it a point to make sure that we've checked off everything that we've wanted to try. But on top of it, if anyone's recommended anything to us, we always make sure that we go there as well and try the food or anything from desserts to pastries to drinks, cocktails, everything.
That's what a vacation's for, right?
Yeah.
All of the above.
What else? I mean, it's so hard. It's so hard to decide where to go, really.
Unless people have better recommendations.
Yeah, if
for
you've
us.
got better recommendations. But I feel like there are places that we want to see, and even though we've been to these countries already, I know people say, why don't you go somewhere else? For me, it's more so if there's something that I really wanted to see for that country or in that country, a different part of that country, then I definitely want to go. And we also want to start kind of seeing the whole country itself, versus just seeing bits and pieces. And so, with Italy, we've been there so many times now that it's come to to the point where we're like, okay, well, we haven't been here, and we haven't been here. Should we just go and do it so that we've kind of covered the whole country?
But then sometimes people will always have a favorite area.
Yeah.
You just kind of feel obligated to go to these other areas, which I get it. I mean, if you're going to pay for something, you want to experience something different. So
yeah, you do. I mean, if someone told me to go back to Amalfi Coast every year, I would go back. If someone told me to go back to Greece, go to Santorini and Mykonos, I'd go back too. But I'd go to, so this is one thing. Santorini and Mykonos is to go without our kids now. We've made that one location to go without our kids. But maybe Santorini I would go with my kids.
But Santorini was it was family friendly, I think.
Yeah. It was very family friendly. Remember the couples that we met so many people there as well. Yeah. With kids that were traveling and having multiple groups of family meet them, and they rented out a house actually on the hill. And with Santorini, the best part is you don't need a car. Rent an ATV and you can see the whole island in 30 minutes.
Yeah, we'll just hitch the kids to the back or something,
Well, they have those, the 4-seater ATV. What are they called? The 4-seater ATV.
Oh, yeah,
You know what I'm talking about.
The 4x4.
Yeah, that thing. And you can take that around, and
that's true.
You'd be able to see the whole island. And yes, Santorini also has a few all-inclusives there as well. It's surprising, but they do. And it's not on the side, it's not on the volcano side, but it's on the volcano beach. What is it? What was it called? The Black Beach. It was on the Black Beach side.
That little boardwalk area. Yeah, I remember that.
The Black Beach side. So it depends. It just depends on what you're looking for. Mykonos was just a party scene. It was probably,
as everybody knows.
Yeah. I've been to Ibiza and Mykonos, so I don't know. I feel like for me, Mykonos set the bar for me. I think I loved it. I think it was great. And I went to both places at different times in my life. So I think that also makes a difference.
Yeah.
I went to Ibiza when I was a lot younger, and then I went to Mykonos a few years ago, and we had the time of our life. But again, all of these countries have changed. There's been so much change. Mm-hmm. There's so many new things. Now there's so many new restaurants to bars, and the way that people are, I guess, making
use of their time in their country. Yeah.
It's just different. Everything's different. So even just going back to Rome, I guess for us, it was
Rome
different.
was different.
It was
actually,
different, you know, from we went 10 years ago to back to last year, and we were like, holy crap.
Same Paris trip where she thought I was going to propose to her.
But yeah.
Didn't propose to her in Rome either.
Anyways. But yeah, if anyone else has recommendations, we're all for it.
I'd love to hear it.
We just want to go back to Europe. That's kind of what we want to do. And hopefully someone else will be going to Europe. And if you're thinking about going in that time frame, let us know.
Let's link.
Maybe we'll see you. But I guess I've kind of...
That was a little off the cuff, conversation about travel.
It was. I mean, you know what?
We'll get back to regular programming next week or next.
It was
next
a long
episode.
week, and you know what? All I've been thinking about is where am I going? Where can we go? We need a vacation. But reality is that...
How the fuck do we get out of here fast as possible?
No, reality is that we do have some really exciting things happening in the next week, in the next 2 weeks. And we're going to be talking about it in our next episode. And that is about Lifestyle by Reset, because we will be launching our apparel very soon. So I think
we're getting close.
To wrap things up, thank you guys for listening today, and follow us, like us, review us on all of our social media and our podcast platforms. You can reach out to us at resetgroupllc.com, or link us on our Instagram at re.setgroup. And
peace out.
We can't wait to talk to you in our next episode. We'll talk about something.